this is TNA. Necessity is the mother of invention. Now, back in the Asylum days, they had to book in advance because they had pay-per-view agreements, so they needed to have a hook at the end of the show to say, okay, well, you got to book this next week, next week's pay-per-view, because you got that, you got this happening, as well as blah 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 blah, and they needed to do that. Now they don't, because they got a weekly TV deal, and well, you don't need the need to do that anyway. That seems to be the problem. They're not booking in advance. They're not saying, well, you got to tune in next week to Impact because this is happening. Now, I think they still need to do that, but for different reasons. They're struggling at the moment. They're still on Monday nights. They're going to be going back to Thursdays, which I believe is, well, hey, they weren't. I didn't think they were necessarily ready to go to Monday nights, but they did anyway. I mean, that was the only thing left really to do to try and take a shot at WWE. And that's alright with me. Anyway, I hope when they do this that they say starts announcing ahead of time on the okay, you got to tune in next Thursday because we've got this match happening, and it doesn't need to be a big match. It doesn't need to be the main event. It should be at least the semi-main event. Like, you got to tune in next week because Kurt Angle's coming back, or something to say, okay, you got to tune in next week because this is happening. I think another thing that needs to be done is, well, you got to try and get your champions, like each of them, making some sort of appearance on the weekly basis. Like, well, they don't need to be having a match. They could be doing commentary, like, or standing out on the stage, okay, to see who they're taking on at the next pay-per-view or something like that. You could shuffle it up. It doesn't need to be so it's like, well, you got the beautiful people now holding all the championships, so it's got to be a hell of a lot easier to book that man and matches, because they're an entire group, so it's got to be easier. I mean, anyway, the other thing I think is a problem. They got loads more talent than they need. That's why I don't think people are being booked properly. I think they should expand, maybe get another 2-hour time slot, or change Explosion. Instead of just doing a review of what's been happening that week, make it like Superstars in a way. Like, if they can't book them for whatever reason on Impact, put them in a match on Explosion. Because there only seems to be like one, maybe two matches on Explosion. Like, Explosion should be the place where you go. Should be like Heat used to be. Like, occasionally you get a big piece of talent on there, like maybe one match with the upper main event guys, and two other matches with the mid card guys. Like, it should be like that. I mean, you can do a little bit of, okay, this happened on Impact. Not, whoa, heaps of this. All this happened on Impact. Everything. That should not be done. Like, if you want a highlight show, put a proper highlight show on. Like WWE does with bottom line or whatever experience, whatever. It TNA should be needs to expand its matches that they do. I mean, Explosion doesn't need to be highlights and and here's a match. They need more. They got all this talent. They need to book them a lot. Like it could be a match between Jay Lethal and Homicide or something. Build a rivalry on with them on Explosion or something. But make it like, okay, you need to tune into Explosion because this is all this is happening. Make it like well, you got to tune into this as well. Anyway, because it used to be like Explosion used to be like that. It used to be like a few highlights, but they managed to get like two matches in all, or three. I can't remember, but it was like you also got to see talent from other companies come in. Like I got to see MVP on Explosion. That was the first time I saw him, and I actually got to see the tattoo that's on his chest of Malcolm X, I believe it is. Which I think WWE is exaggerating over. Anyway, that's just a few things like I think TNA should be doing. Anyway, but